Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hi, everybody.
Hello everyone.
My name is David Bell.
I'm Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Above the Law.
1993's Above the Law, because we have to clarify.
There are so many
There are
these.
many films titled Above. Is it Above the Law or Beyond the Law?
Oh, fuck.
What kind of games do they play in Cleveland, Ohio? We like to play with guns. What are you gonna do? I think I'm gonna shoot him. I want to move some contraband. Buy it here, sell in the Midwest. What about guns?
You want a goddamn rocket launcher?
Did I fuck it up?
Motherfuck, I think it's Beyond the Law.
All right, let's try this again.
Jesus, God in heaven. It is beyond the law.
All right. We have time to do this again. We might as well do it again.
I think we should keep this in.
All right, never mind. We're not gonna.
It is Beyond the Law, the 1993 film starring Charlie Sheen.
Jesus Christ.
To be clear, where you guys know the one where he looks like a warlock on the cover.
I don't think they do know the one.
They might not. This is a film that I knew for years just from seeing the VHS in video stores. And goddamn, Charlie Sheen looks like a Celtic wizard on the front of the box.
He does. He really does. Turns out it's supposed to be him as a biker. I just want to real quick before we get started. This is a Thursday. It's Patreon. We just watched by Mercurial Oz.
Mercurial, okay.
Thank
you, Mercurial Oz.
Thank you so much for this. For giving us something to watch when, it's going to be hard to get out there.
When the world is ending.
Yeah. How you been?
Thank you
Tom?
for this assignment. I think I'm losing my mind.
Same.
I might be going insane.
Yeah. I'm not. I stopped shaving. I think my neighbors are out to get me.
I'm not doing great. Great.
It's real. It's like, whew. I need to take more walks or something.
Yeah, I watched the 47 Meters Down sequel 3 times.
Really?
Because I kept forgetting what was happening.
Oh, okay. It's dark, man. That's
so I
dark.
kept restarting. It was grim. I kept restarting it. And it's a bad film.
Right.
But I kept forgetting what was happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't think my brain is working anymore.
Yeah. It's weird because I stay inside all the damn time.
Yeah.
But I think being injected with just the worst news on Twitter and not feeling trapped, feeling like, well, I can't even go out to see a movie. I can't go shopping without killing people, maybe. So it's pretty bleak. It's fine.
So luckily we had 1993's Beyond the Law starring Charlie Sheen to help us through these dark times.
Oh, thank God for that. Mm-hmm. Thank God. This was a ray of sunshine.
Was it really?
Well, okay. How did you like Beyond the Law?
I thought this was one of the most boring movies I've ever seen.
Oh man, Tom!
And then when they suddenly reveal at the end that it's based on a true story, I was like, "Oh, that makes sense. That's why it's so boring."
All right. I found this movie kind of delightful. This movie
is delightful on paper.
Yeah. Well, it's the writer of The Hunt for Red October, Alien 3, Rollerball, Beverly Hills Cop, and of course Highlander.
Wait, which Rollerball?
The new one.
Never mind.
2003.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it kind of does matter when you say that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of the writers of Highlander directed this. He is in the movie, Tom.
He is. He's the old fat sheriff that Charlie Sheen shoves to lose his job.
Yeah. Yeah, he fires Charlie Sheen.
The old sheriff's like, yeah, what are you talking to Indians? And Charlie Sheen's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And shoves him, and then he gets fired.
This movie has an all-star cast, along with Charlie Sheen. Who else is in it? Rip Torn, Michael Madsen.
Rip Torn is in like the first 10 minutes, and then we never see him again.
Yeah, and then he bounced.
Michael Madsen, Linda Fiorentino.
Yeah, Fiorentino and Rip Torn. I wonder if when they shot Men in Black, they just pretended not to know each other. They were just like, I don't want to talk about that.
They probably never met.
Yeah, that's true because they don't have a scene together.
They may not have even known each other was in this film.
Yeah. So this is my overall take on this film. Mm-hmm. If you did with a light rewrite, just a light rewrite, this could have been a Hot Shots sequel. Like, doesn't it feel like it could have been?
Well, I mean, any action movie could have been.
I guess it just has all the formula of like montages of him trying to be a biker. You could do all sorts of gags with the bikers. There's a very sex scene.
Yeah, it's a very tropey action thriller with very little action in it.
Yes.
And I feel like your mind is going in that direction because Charlie Sheen is in it.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I was thinking of it. But then when they like put him in the biker gear, like he almost looks like his character would be in Hot Shots. Like he looks so dumb.
Right, like his hair is a clear wig.
Yeah,
like it's just
like it felt like
this whole movie is embarrassing from start to finish.
I found it delightful.
If you worked on this movie in any capacity and you're proud of it, I would slap you so hard in the face. I would slap you so hard that people in the next room would hear it. This is a terrible movie.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, I hated this movie. This movie felt like 16 hours long to me.
I will say, you texted me and you're like, I feel like you've been watching this movie for 5 hours. I also got a little of that near the end of watching this movie. I think it's because I kept rewinding to rewatch scenes, though.
Yeah, and it's because no scene leads into the next scene. Like, the time jumping in this movie...
The editing.
It made it clear that the director was not a person that understands the language of film.
Yes, the editing is fucking out of this world. Part at the very beginning.
Like Charlie Sheen shoves his boss and gets fired, and then the very next scene is his house. All of his stuff is in boxes.
Yes.
And then Courtney B. Vance shows up. We forgot to mention him at the top. Courtney B. Vance is in this movie. He shows up to recruit him to this undercover operation to pull a sting on this biker gang. But it's like clearly several weeks have passed.
Right, and when I saw his place, I was like, is this just how he lives? That was one of the times where I rewound
boxes.
Yeah, that's one of the times I rewound to make sure I knew what was going on. There's like they put significance. He wakes up from a nightmare at the very beginning, looks at his pet turtle.
Yeah,
which
my God, the turtle.
The turtle ultimately never really matters.
Oh, we abandoned that turtle after the 30-minute mark.
Right, but the movie really makes you think the turtle's going to be important because he looks at the turtle and says, like, he's still alive. And then it does a slow push-in on the turtle and the music gets really intense. And
then like 10 somebody seconds. Comments on the turtle, and then we do a zoom on the turtle when he's moving.
Yeah.
To like go undercover, and then we never check in with that turtle again.
We never do. I don't know why the turtle exists.
What on earth were you trying to tell me with that?
Remember when Rip Torn wrapped a gift for Charlie Sheen?
I do, and it was a kid's deputy badge.
Yes. I love the image of Rip Torn gift wrapping. I don't think Rip Torn has ever wrapped a gift in his life.
I gotta get this box that this fits in.
Yeah, he gift wraps Charlie Sheen a little sheriff's badge because Charlie Sheen got fired?
Not yet. Not when he gives it to him.
So why does he give him the little sheriff's badge?
I don't know.
He just says, I got a gift for you. And Charlie Sheen
do not know.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen is wearing a badge when he gives it to him.
He's already like a state trooper or a highway patrolman. Like, he's already a cop. And then Rip Torn's like, I got you another badge. And he's like, oh, cool.
It's so fucking
This is
weird.
dear to me. This movie is ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, this movie, I think the reason it felt so long to me is that I never knew what was going on.
Yes, it's like a fever dream.
What the hell is this movie?
the part, oh my god. I mean, there's the basic plot structures there. Charlie Sheen is going to infiltrate a biker gang run by Michael Madsen, so he has to pretend to be a biker. He recruits a man named Virgil, who he meets at a bar.
We have to talk about that.
Virgil is my favorite fucking character.
Well, this the sweatiest shit in the universe, okay, is the movie begins with a quote from Virgil's Aeneid, which, okay, but that's not the Virgil they're referencing.
Right.
Because his name is Dan Saxon.
Right.
He is Dante. They just took the TE off of his name.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then he has Virgil because he's traveling through hell. This movie is dumb, and it made me angry.
I didn't even catch that. That's incredible.
Because they named a character Virgil when fucking nobody has been named Virgil for like 500 years.
That's amazing. That's like
nobody
reindeer
has
games.
that name. How dare you?
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's all. That's like one of the only things I kept. I was just like spinning myself up with rage watching this movie. I'm like, Dan Saxon? Really? Okay, there's his friend Virgil. Fuck you, movie.
This movie is a fucking mystery.
I hated this movie.
I'm liking it more now, to be honest.
Right now, now that I'm so vitriolic about it. Yeah, no, I can't.
And I didn't even realize that stupid detail. That's
right.
baffling.
I haven't actively hated a film this much since we did Pool Hall Junkies, but I'm hating it for a very different reason.
Yeah. Remember when he pulls over the lady? Because they establish Charlie Sheen as a cop, and then when he infiltrates the biker gang, like his love interest turns out to be a photographer, documenting them, and so she kind of makes him.
But apparently she's also working for the cops because she's in the meeting at the end.
Oh, is that what that means? I just thought it was a bad movie.
And like also the state trooper he terrifies into getting back in his car and driving away is also at the meeting. So I'm like, is everyone in on this?
Yeah, just giving him a slow clap. That slow clap, man.
Is this David Fincher's The Game? This is a bad film. This is a very bad film.
He pulls over Linda Fiorentino.
He does, yes.
And his method of pulling a woman over, he pulls her over, gets out of his car, and just leers at her silently until she has to speak.
Yeah, that's the Sheen method. That's how Charlie Sheen rolls.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And then she says to him when he pulls her over, "You have a nice face, nice bones," which is not something I can get away with saying to a cop that pulled me over. It's like two aliens having a conversation.
Right. You should really never tell another human being how nice their bones are.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Is she hitting on him? Because that's not how you hit on someone by saying nice bones. It is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen has to go undercover, so he grows a mustache. And then he grows
a whole beard. Whole ass beard.
Well, first he grows a mustache, and there's a scene where
there's a montage. Yes.
A mustache montage.
Yeah.
Where I'm not sure what he's doing in the montage.
He's trying to find his way into the gang.
Okay, because the montage is just
that's
him.
When he locates Virgil.
The montage is just him handing people money in various locations.
Right. It's him trying to buy drugs and or contraband.
Okay. Yeah, I love the shot. There's a shot of him in a kitchen with a Hawaiian shirt and mustache talking to a cook. And I thought, like, who let him into that kitchen? Who are you buying drugs in a kitchen right now while guys working?
Guy
like, what
let
the
me
fuck?
Into this kitchen.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not a cop.
He is so obviously a cop.
He's so obviously a cop. There's a scene late in the movie when they discover that one of the other bikers is a cop because he's driving a motorcycle that was confiscated by the police.
Right.
And Charlie Sheen aggressively beats the shit out of him and throws him to the cops and like spits in Courtney B. Vance's face. And he's like, "You pigs need to get out of here." And they're talking to him later. He's like, "I just hate cops more than anything." It's like, clearly he's a cop.
Right.
Because if he wasn't, they would have broken his skull open when he spat on Courtney B. Vance. They don't give a shit. They're out in the middle of nowhere. The only witnesses are crack-ass fucking bikers. They would have fucking bludgeoned him into the dirt if he spit on their lead guy.
When he joins the biker party, the first thing he says to them is, "Hey, you boys got any guns?"
Yeah.
To which I would reply, "Oh, you're a cop."
Right. He refers to every single drug and every piece of contraband. He refers to it by its like full actual English name. Like he's like, "Do you have any heroin? What about cocaine? What about marijuana? Can I buy some machine guns?" Like they should have been like, "Oh, you're a cop.
You're clearly a cop.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot you and dump you in the Grand Canyon."
So he meets Virgil at a bar, and Virgil basically makes him as a cop and says, like, "I can help you look like a biker." So he drunkenly deputizes him, and while he's doing that, they're in like the parking lot. He says out loud, "I'm the narc," to the guy as he's like fighting with him. Like he's so bad at being undercover that he just screams,
bad.
"I'm a narc" in a parking lot at a biker bar. It's amazing. And also, don't fucking deputize the random guy you found at the bar. I mean, it works out for him, I guess.
Right, he hands him his toy sheriff's badge that Rip Torn gave him.
And he's like, don't shoot anybody. That's what you can't do.
Yeah.
And then they have a motorcycle building montage. He pisses on his biker jacket.
Virgil pisses on his jacket because like, now you're ready to be a biker. I'm like, do most bikers get pissed on?
I for a while, when Virgil starts shooting at him in the car, when he's like, "Now you can be a biker," I thought Virgil was just turning on him, and I was like, yeah, I'm imagining this obvious cop was at a bar. Virgil was like, "I'm gonna fuck with this cop," and then he just like messed with him for a week, shot at him, and drove off. But no, Virgil sticks with him.
Right, I feel like a biker would saw your head off with a switchblade if you peed on his jacket.
Yeah. But he's teaching him to be a biker.
Why does his jacket need to smell like piss?
To be a biker, man. It's funny because he says, "Oh, you look too clean to be a biker," and he pisses on his jacket. And then when they go to the biker party, Sheen looks exactly the same as he did before.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look... He looks...
like, Michael Madsen is clean cut and shaven.
Michael Madsen looks like a teenager who dressed like a biker for Halloween.
Yes.
On like a budget. He's wearing like a jean jacket and like a red bandana and like a regular... Everybody else is in full biker gear. He looks like he threw together a costume.
Right. He looks like a guy who wants to be a biker but still wants you to know who he is.
Yeah. It's the weirdest choice for the villain.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he holds a wedding.
He does. He officiates a wedding.
Yes, and
not sure that's legal.
He should do it all the time. Michael Madsen.
Right, he should be marrying people left and right. Holy shit. I would have gotten Michael Madsen to officiate my wedding exactly the same way he does in this film.
Right, to ask if you promise to flush out her oil tank or whatever he said, which is disgusting euphemism.
Right, like he uses like grotesque euphemisms. Like, do you promise to blast this bitch's vagina, and do you promise to like slob this dude's rod?
Yeah, it's real. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a biker thing, but like, flush out your oil tank. What does that even mean? Like, what is he doing?
What? Like, that's not a euphemism.
Yeah,
flush out your oil tank.
That's
what does that mean?
It's real weird. I don't even want to think about what it means.
Grotesque.
Yeah. And then from here, the movie becomes like a series of dares between Michael Madsen and Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, kind of.
Which could have been a whole movie.
There's no other plot for the rest of the film.
No, it's just them being bikers together until Charlie Sheen's like, "I'm a cop." They go to like... He dares him. Like, I would have seen like a Sheen and Madsen Jackass movie when he's like, "Hey, Charlie Sheen."
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
When he's like, hey, Charlie Sheen, I want you to drive your bike. They call it a sled.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
It's probably a thing. He goes through this cowboy bar, and Charlie Sheen drives his bike and crashes into the jukebox and gets into a fight. And they're just having a great time. They go to a strip club named The Whole Thing, spelled HOLE. Which is probably Yeah,
Right, like it should be a national chain, right? It's the greatest name for any restaurant ever.
I was gonna say it's to the point.
Right, it should be the next Applebee's.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Everybody bring their kids to the whole thing.
Yeah, shove them in the whole thing.
It is like, oh man, what a greasy place. That so they got it. They got a good strip club for this. I'll give them that. Charlie Sheen, he has a sex scene after the reporter lady, the photographer, beats a guy up.
It does have a sex scene, and we see Linda Fiorentino's vagina.
Yeah,
like
which is
flat out.
Yeah, which I don't. I mean, whatever. If she wants to do that. But no, it feels like it for this movie, man. I don't know.
Like right for like above the or like beyond the law with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, they clearly did. They clearly didn't intend it because he like pulls her skirt up or whatever, and she's wearing underwear, but it's like very thin underwear, and it's like, oh, right. I just see her vagina right now.
Right. It's weird.
Okay, movie.
Yeah, from Linda Fiorentini from Men in Black.
Jade.
Wait, what?
Jade, 1995's Jade.
She's in Jade?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen Jade.
She's the femme fatale character. She's the Sharon Stone character from Basic Instinct, essentially.
Oh.
In Jade. Yeah.
I'll have to watch Jade.
That's the movie that David Caruso left fucking NYPD Blue to be in. I'm going to be in Jade.
What a great decision.
All right, man. All right, you stupid dickhead.
And then she has, in this, she has like a kid.
Right, she has a 6-year-old kid, and we have to talk. I could do an entire podcast about the scene where Charlie Sheen pretends to be a French chef.
That was something.
To delight her child, and it's like, it's a terrible accent. What he's doing is like aggressive. It's like weirdly aggressive. Like he's you must smash the Oreos, not too much. Now, do you want to sit down and eat these Oreos? Like he's being very aggressive to a child he's never met before.
Right, and then the scene goes on for, I don't know, 40 minutes?
Too long!
Yeah, it just doesn't stop.
It goes on for a very long time to really showcase how little Charlie Sheen has ever heard a French person speak.
Yeah, he sounds like a guy mocking a French person. It's man, I think did they think this scene was going to be hilarious?
I guess they thought it would be like funny and endearing, but it's really just like a weird guy trying to dunk on Pepe Le Pew.
Right, and it's like, Charlie Sheen, get away from that kid.
It's like, and that's the other thing. It's like when he's like handing the kid like a glass of the smoothie he's just created. I was like, don't let Charlie Sheen anywhere near children. Don't do that.
Don't drink anything he's made for you.
No, please don't do that. Yeah.
There's a scene.
He's like a dirty bomb. Don't let your kids near him.
Yeah. There's a scene later where he gets forced to do cocaine, and I was like, that's the Sheen we all know. There he is.
Yeah, they have to force him to do drugs in this movie. And it's like, no, he's on all of the drugs in this movie.
Somewhere around here, we learned that Virgil doesn't know what a dildo is.
Yeah, he's like, what does that word even mean? I'm like, how are you an adult man?
It's just like, you've never talked to a woman.
Right, you've never pleased a woman in your life.
Yeah. Oh, poor Virgil.
You've never had any kind of relationship with a woman. Maybe Virgil's not real. Maybe Virgil is literally the ghost guide that Charlie Sheen has through this movie. Because he doesn't know what a dildo is, and he's like a 48-year-old man.
Right.
How do you not know that word, man?
I don't know. I felt more and more bad for Virgil.
Goblin.
He breaks Virgil's heart. He becomes too extreme.
The low point is when he breaks up with Virgil.
Yeah. And Virgil's like, you're too hard now, man. You've changed. Because, like, for some reason, this becomes like Charlie Sheen just gets into being a biker. And at one point, he's like, I don't want to turn in Michael Madsen, man.
Right,
like,
because Michael Madsen saves his life, quote unquote. It's like, no, he just, like, you were getting your ass kicked by some guys, and he hit him with a bat.
Yeah,
That's
he didn't. It's so weird and dramatic. He says he saved my life, man, and it's like it was another sequence where I like rewowed. I was like, wait, when did he save his life?
Right, he just hits a couple of guys with a bat. It's like, no, he didn't. It's just like being in a gang with a dude. Like, yeah, he's gonna go get a bat and hit him with it, but like.
Meanwhile, Michael Madsen is a fucking monster.
Oh yeah, he's like he's a pure monster. Yeah, pure ghoul.
It was like they were trying to do like a Fast and Furious thing where it's like, oh, you're supposed to like the bad guy and feel bad. But
You
like
don't
they never
at all.
Yeah, they never make
mean-
Michael Madsen charismatic in this movie.
he's charismatic because he's Michael Madsen, and
Right, but his-
he does have like an innate charisma.
Right.
But like the movie never makes the argument that he's a good person.
Right. He
Like
fucking
he's always a monster.
points an unloaded gun at Charlie Sheen and like fakes him out and pretends to shoot him. Like he's always an asshole. And then he ends up shooting a woman at a convenience store. And Charlie Sheen's like, oh, okay, that's the last straw. I'm going to have him
I
arrested.
guess you really were evil. It's like, no, he's been showing you he's evil this whole time.
Right. And it's like, had you fucking moved a little faster and not been like, oh, I don't know if I can arrest him, like that woman would still be alive.
Right, you're a police officer. Like,
Yeah.
you're watching him do all these crimes, and you're like, well, he's my buddy. I can't let him get away with it. And then he shoots, and we later learn it's this 20-year-old woman right in the chest, just because one of the douchey biker gang members is arguing over, I forget, I can't even remember what he's arguing over.
I don't know. This is one of those things that
It's
they're in
really
the convenience
hackneyed.
store-
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't believe there's two things I don't believe about this scene, which makes it really bad. One, I don't believe Charlie Sheen as an undercover cop would have waited this long or would have not done anything to
What-
stop him from shooting that woman.
One of
And
my
two,
notes was like, shouldn't he
Okay.
be making arrests by now?
but at that point, they have so much evidence.
Like he's had evidence for like
they
it
keep,
feels like
they keep
weeks.
they keep doing like a montage of him dropping off evidence. Like he's been undercover for a while. It's like,
Yeah.
how much evidence do you need?
But number two,
Number two is that I don't believe Michael Madsen would have shot that lady.
yes, okay,
Because
that
it's
was
it's such a pointless murder, and it would bring so much heat down on you and your gang. It's like, why would you shoot that person?
that's the weirdest
That's
part.
an insane thing to do.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's that when Charlie Sheen, like, one of them points a gun at the woman, Charlie Sheen, like, punches him or something.
Yeah.
Michael Madsen points a gun at Charlie Sheen, and they treat him as if his badge just fell out. They're like, what the fuck, man? What the hell? And it's like, can they not conceive a world where one of their fellow bikers doesn't want them to shoot a clerk? Like,
Right,
they're,
like they're
they're
not-
not that
they're not-
cartoonishly evil. They're not.
Well, they're not lunatics.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that I had with it is Michael Madsen in this movie. Like he's evil, yeah, in this film, but he's not a maniac. Like he
Well,
wouldn't
that's
just
they're evil in the sense
everything-
that they're drug dealers and stuff,
Right.
And they get
Well,
into fights.
they're a gang.
but they
They're a
weren't
gang.
murderers until this moment,
right, right. They're a gang and they're ruthless, but like no gang is just gonna randomly kill somebody and just right. Like
It's a very like 80s and 90s view of gangs.
Well, it's like he suddenly turns into the Joker, where it's like, oh, he doesn't
Yeah.
care about it's like, well, no, he's the leader of a biker gang, and biker gangs have to live beneath the radar of cops. They're not going to just randomly shoot a clerk for no reason,
Right.
in a store.
It's the equivalent of when in 90s movies there's the street punks who are like mugging women and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like they all have mohawks and leather jackets and stuff. And it's just like, this is not a thing.
Right? Yeah. That's. I mean, if the movie had portrayed Michael Madsen to be a lunatic up until that point, I would have accepted.
Right.
it, but
He's holding
not.
weddings. They have a
Right, like,
community.
He's like a reasonable gang leader. Like he's a bad guy, but it's like he's not irrational. And then he just
Right.
does this completely insane thing and just murders somebody for no reason. It's like, my God,
It's so fucking weird.
why would you do that?
Why
You're
would he
gonna go
do
to
that?
prison.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's going to get shot in a trailer.
Well, he goes to prison if you listen to the voiceover.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Charlie Sheen does not
Oh.
kill him.
Okay. Yeah, this basically Sheen after it takes Michael Madsen murdering a woman, Charlie Sheen's
In
like, "Well, I
front
guess
of
I
his
should arrest
face.
him." Yeah.
Like Madsen's clearly murdered several people
Yeah.
in his tenure as boss of this biker gang.
So he
But Sheen's like, no, you got to shoot somebody in front of my eyes before I'll decide to actually roll on you.
right. And so Sheen decides, "All right, I'm going to arrest him." And he insists upon it. All the cops, they slow clap him. They're like, "You're done." And he's like, "No, I want to make the arrest." And so his plan is to go into Michael Madsen's trailer, like, alone with no
Right.
backup. I guess
my
they're all
favorite-
outside.
Yeah.
And
my
he
favorite
tells
part
him-
of that
Go
is the scene where he tells Courtney B. Vance that he's like, "I want to make the arrest myself," and Courtney B. Vance says, "Absolutely not."
Right. And then Courtney B. Vance, I was like, "Don't do that." He goes, "You're not going to testify unless you arrest him, huh?" And I was like, I bet he didn't think
Don't
of that.
give him that idea.
And so,
I mean,
yeah.
you can throw him in jail if he doesn't testify. He is a police officer.
Right. He is a bad police officer.
He very much is, yeah.
So he goes into Michael Madsen's place and he's like, "Look at my badge. I'm a cop and you're under arrest." So, of course, Michael Madsen just jumps for his gun and Sheen shoots him. And
Yeah.
it's like, way to fucking be a cop, Sheen.
Yeah, you dickhead.
And then he leaves. This was... I lost my mind at this ending.
This ending is incredible.
Yeah, he leaves. They're like, "Are you going to testify or not?" And he doesn't listen. He strips down shirtless.
Well, it's a
just-
montage. They keep cutting back and forth,
Right.
and it's like he's dropping one more article of clothing, and then we all of a sudden get voiceover from Virgil that reveals that this was all based on a true story.
Right.
There was no indication at any point in this film that this was based
Right.
on a true story, and it's like,
So-
well, he testified, and then Blood went to jail, and then they show a montage of like all the other people he's interacted with getting arrested as he strips more and more clothing off of himself. And for most of the montage, the camera is facing him.
Right.
So we're just seeing him walking towards the camera, stripping more and more items of clothing off himself. But then, like, the end of the montage, they show the camera from behind him, and he's just walking off into, like, the fucking salt flats. Like,
Yes.
there's nothing out there. He's just wandering into the desert.
There's so much to take in this last minute.
What is happening? in
He's
this
wandering
scene?
into the desert, and they're like, "And this was a true story," and it's like,
Right,
"Fucking
like,
what?"
They wait till the last 3 minutes to tell us this was a true story.
As Sheen is, I assume in a couple weeks they're gonna find his naked corpse out in the desert.
Right, they're gonna find his fucking bleached skeleton in between
is he
some
doing?
sand dunes. He's walking out into nothing. There's
Why is he
nothing out
doing
there.
that? Why?
Fucking the dried
fuck?
up bones of Atlantis is out in front of him, and he's just trudging out there like, my work here is done.
What a
I
fucking-
shot Michael Madsen.
And apparently he didn't even do that right because Michael
No,
Madsen
yeah, he
was
just
still
bullied
alive.
Michael Madsen into trying to shoot him so he could shoot him back, but not fatally.
What a fucking film.
This goddamn movie.
We haven't even discussed his childhood and Native American connection.
Oh shit! They do put like what is that movie called with Val Kilmer? Thunderhawk.
Yeah, this also felt like a Hot Shots thing because it's the second Hot Shots, or no,
Right,
it's the first one.
Right, it's a completely absurd thing where they're like, "Well, he's half Native American." It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah,
Like he's
but they
clearly
do-
not.
They do
He's
the
half
thing
Hispanic.
where like every now and then this like Native American like flute starts playing and he has a
Yeah,
flashback.
and he has a flashback of getting the shit kicked out of him by his motorcycle cop stepfather.
Right, who he shot as a child. And I guess that's important. I mean, it's character stuff. And then at the very beginning, the beginning starts with him having to talk an old Native American man down
Yeah.
who bookends the movie. When he's at rock bottom, he gets arrested. He meets the Native American guy again. And the Native American guy told him, what did he tell him? Like about a saying, a story where the moral was like, if you're
The moral
outnumbered
was
by
walk
white.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like if you're outnumbered by white men, give up. And like
yeah,
because
it was just walk away.
yeah.
If you're in a fight that's unwinnable, walk away.
Yeah. And at the end he has to be reminded that in the jail cell where he's like, "Why did you tell me that story?" Like it's
I don't
really
know.
intense with
Like,
the guy.
He just walked away. And the incredible thing about that is it doesn't apply to the film's ending. He doesn't walk away.
No, he really doesn't. Well, no, he technically walks away into the desert.
Well, he walks
Tom.
into the desert after he's resolved the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't walk away from the conflict.
No, he walks away
Like
from
that bookend did not serve the plot of the film.
he walks away from his responsibilities as a cop.
Right. He just walks away from Earth.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm done.
Again, the
go in the
voiceover is
desert.
just like, well, he did testify, and it's like, oh, okay. So
I'm gonna
why is he
wander out
walking
in
into
the
a
desert and
desert?
blow myself? Like, yeah, it's insane.
This movie is
This
so
movie
over the
is a
top.
banana sandwich. Like,
Yes.
This movie is ridiculous.
It's so fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was hard to follow. Like, I never knew when anything was happening.
It really, yeah.
It doesn't jump time within its own narrative, but it was like,
No,
I have
it's-
no idea how much time has passed.
It's just how
that's
they
kind
cut
of
it together.
Right, and that's part of the point, is like, it's sort of like a Donnie Brasco thing where it's like, well, he's been in too deep for too long, but it's like, I have no idea how much time has gone by.
Right, but they don't do. The only reason it's like that is because the movie is badly cut. Like even the beginning and end,
Yes.
when you're supposed to have a sense of time, is badly cut. The weird
Yeah.
turtle stuff, like it's all a mess. We didn't even talk about when they try to force him to do heroin while he's driving.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know.
Well,
if my
there's-
driver doesn't want to
there's-
do heroin, I'm going to be cool with that. You know?
Right, and there's two things going on in that scene.
Yeah.
One is that the guys in the back seat who are shooting up heroin are like, hey, the driver doesn't want to do heroin. He must be a cop. Let's make him do heroin. First of all, nobody ever in the history of the world has done that.
Yeah.
Second, Virgil in the front seat next to Charlie Sheen might as well be screaming to the guys in the back seat that Charlie Sheen is a cop.
Right.
It's like, no, he doesn't want to ride dirty. What's your problem? Like, he's so outraged at it. It's like, why are
Right.
you so... Like, it's like Virgil tips their hand every single time any kind of stress comes up.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Virgil cannot handle
Virgil's
this.
the worst deputy ever.
Yes. You shouldn't deputize a man that you met at a biker bar while drunk.
No, not really. You
Not a good
probably
idea.
shouldn't. Even if his name thematically aligns with the journey you're planning on going on,
No, still
don't
don't do
hire
it.
a guy just because he's named Virgil.
Yeah. And then
Virgil doesn't do shit in Dante's Inferno. He just watches.
he doesn't do shit in this either.
No, he really doesn't.
The idea, and I mean, this is a regular trope. Like Dare classes lied to me about the idea that people are going to push drugs on you. Like that
They won't
idea
push
of
it
like,
this
come on, man,
aggressively.
just do the drugs. Like there's never been anything wrong with saying, nah, I don't do drugs.
Well, or the scenes where he's like, because I mean, I've encountered this, like the scenes where they're showing him buying drugs and they're offering him drugs, and he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've been in sketchy situations before, and in not sketchy situations before. People are like, you want to try this? I'm like, no, I don't really, because I don't really like, I don't get a good high from that. You know, it's like, it's not a,
Right.
it's not that big of a red flag.
Yeah,
Like,
just say,
I
no,
mean,
I
if he
don't
d- if he
like
never-
those. I don't like that drug. I don't really like drugs. And they'd be like,
It's-
oh, okay, more for me.
Right. If somebody's keeping track of him never doing anything, it might be suspicious. But like even then, like yeah, like you just said, not everybody's like into
Yeah.
drugs. Like maybe he just likes to get fucking drunk.
Yeah, and he could be like, yeah, man, I just sell the stuff.
Yeah, no, I just
it makes
sell
it
heroin.
easier.
I like to get
There's
fucked up on fucking Burnett's cherry vodka.
Right. There's a million ways to break the law with drugs while not doing drugs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it's the bikers are so they're all
They're
over the place.
cartoonish. They're
Yeah.
cartoonish drug dealers.
Right.
Like this movie was written partially to be a PSA because it's like when he won't do the heroin, the guy shooting heroin in the back seat of the car he's driving down the highway at 60 miles an hour tries to inject him with heroin. And
Right.
it's like
in
that
his
would
neck.
not happen.
Like straight in his neck, and it's just like if he doesn't do heroin, that'll probably just knock him out at the wheel.
What the fuck do you? Of course it would.
Yeah.
it's morphine, my dude. Like it was just like you can't drive a car if you just inject that shit.
What the fuck?
What
Again,
on
it's
earth?
all
Like this movie really capitalizes on the fact that like 1993 America, like general audience America, has no idea what drugs are like.
no, absolutely. And it's just all the things he does, not wanting to do drugs, not wanting a person to be murdered in front of him. None of it is suspicious activity for a cop. Like, these are all perfectly human things that a criminal can also believe.
Right, but bikers have a reputation for being pretty ruthless.
Yeah, it depends on the bikers. I don't know. Even bikers now is like, it feels so quaint.
But I feel like
now, I mean, again, this is the 90s, so I get that it's a different time.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, bikers are like doing Toys for Tots and shit like that. I mean,
right,
there's
but
still
they're
incidents.
they're also moving crystal meth and stabbing people to death. Like that's also
true.
happening.
Wasn't there a biker like a shootout at an Applebee's a couple years ago?
Yeah, there was
remember that?
Yes, there was a huge shootout in a parking lot that involved multiple people. Yeah,
that was madness.
No, they're a gang. I mean, they may do good things, but it's like it's still you're expected.
Yeah, I guess I mean it's that thing where like the style is now because like. A lot of people like motorcycles and I don't know and leather jackets and shit.
Right.
I guess it's more if I see a guy who looks like a biker driving, he's probably just someone's grandpa at this point. Yeah. But yeah, I get that there are still biker gangs and violence and stuff.
Yeah.
I think even bikers wouldn't want to shoot a random clerk.
Probably not a random person for no reason.
Yeah.
Although my brother did tell me when he was a police officer that he was legit scared of biker gangs.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, there's nothing, I mean, yeah.
But like, yeah, there's like, you have to assume that unless they're like wanton maniacs, like unless they're all the Joker, they're not going to just randomly kill somebody for no reason.
Right.
Because that's a lot of
if
heat.
They're smart. Yeah.
Killing somebody.
Yeah, even if you're like, I'm fine with killing people, it's like, yeah, but I'm not going to kill a fucking civilian.
I'm not going to do it just randomly for like a very little reason that's going to bring a lot of heat down on us. That's insane.
Come on, Michael Madsen. Why are you always such a loose cannon? Michael Madsen, he is just, does he just always in movies play like the guy? I mean, it's just how he looks, right?
It's how he looks, yeah.
Like the part in this where he's like drunk and happy, I'm like, I'm scared right now.
Right. It's
I'd never want to be around a drunk, happy Michael Madsen.
Right. It's how he looks. It's his size because he's a very tall man. He's a very big guy. So it's like, I think it's just Tarantino noticed that like, oh, he's super intimidating and cast him in Reservoir Dogs. And then everybody else realized, oh, he's super intimidating.
Right.
So yeah, he just seems like a guy that is either on the verge of like slapping you on the back and laughing or stabbing you in the fucking neck.
Right. He's got that real like I'm going to put you in a headlock energy.
Right. And who knows whether or not it's going to be a good headlock or a bad headlock.
Yeah, I'm going to put you in a headlock and whisper really fucked up shit in your ear so no one else can hear. And I'll have whiskey breath. He looks like whiskey breath.
Yeah, personified.
Yeah. Good God, this movie is I don't know.
It's a bad movie.
It's a real specimen, though. I think that's what I mean by I was delighted by it.
In terms of an independent action thriller made in the early 90s.
Right. It's not a good movie. Let me just get that out of the way. This is a bad movie.
Right. There's problems at every single level of the filmmaking in this movie.
Yeah. It's it's fascinating to watch. Like if you like a good like mediocre 90s film, it's a very interesting film for that because you're going to spend most of it wondering what the fuck they were trying to do.
Yeah. I think you have to be really cuz like I can't imagine like this wouldn't be a fun movie to watch in a group because not much happens.
Yeah.
And it would, man.
I think you have to be in a situation where you
Right.
have a lot of time indoors and there's not much to do,
Right.
and
You
you're
gotta
running
be-
out of things to watch.
You got to be on quarantine really wanting to dig deep into what thrillers of the early 90s were like.
Right.
Because, like, otherwise, there is no reason to watch this movie. It is
There's no
bad.
reason.
It's badly made.
Yeah.
Everything about it is like, this movie is so forgettable instantly.
Yes.
Like, I sat down and hit record on this podcast. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. This movie has
took
already
notes.
left my mind.
Yeah, I started taking notes for this one because for that exact reason, I was like, I'm not going to remember any of this shit.
Yeah, I
But
should've
there are
taken notes,
moments. Yeah, there are moments in it that are just truly bizarre that I had to remember. Just little details. So I don't know. Yeah, you don't have to circle.
It's a bad film.
Yeah, nobody has to circle back around to Beyond the Law.
No, please don't watch this movie. Like, sometimes we'll tell you on this podcast, like, to pause the podcast and go watch the movie. Do not watch this film. Never watch this film. You will get nothing out. And in fact, I think your soul might actually be depleted by the act of watching this film. It's bad. It doesn't do anything for anyone. Like, it's not aggressively bad. It's just like forgettably. It's like bad in a boring way.
Yeah.
It's not bad like Batman and Robin, or, you know, like, it's not bad in an entertaining way. It's just bad in a bad way.
I don't know. I do think I think this you could if you're old money bags and you can pay like $3.99 right now
This
to
costs
rent a movie.
$4 to rent. Fuck
Really?
this movie.
Yeah.
Yes. This cost me
and-
$4 in a
Yeah.
pandemic.
But like
Fuck
if
this movie.
if you see it free, I guess you could fast forward around this one. Like you could skim
To
it.
what?
I don't know, to the turtle moment.
What good part are you going to fast forward through? This movie's trash.
The turtle moment. The
Start
ending.
to finish.
The ending. Maybe just Google Beyond the Law ending so you can watch that.
The ending is truly fascinating. So,
Yeah.
He's walking off into fucking space.
Yeah, it's like Charlie Sheen was just done with the movie. Like, that's what it looks
Right.
like. It was Charlie Sheen being like, fuck this film, and
Right,
just
it, like,
ripping off his
It's like all of a sudden he's
costume.
on Arrakis and Dune, and he's just fucking walking off. Like,
Yeah.
fuck this. This movie is terrible.
fucking weird.
Do not watch it. Don't spend any money on it ever. If you find a copy of it in a dumpster, I wouldn't even recommend watching it. This movie will give you nothing. It offers nothing and takes everything in return. It's an hour and 48 minutes, and it felt like 5 hours to watch this movie.
Oh, man.
It's boring and dumb and bad. My
See, I'm-
God.
All right, so mixed reviews.
There's no argument you can make that will convince me that this is worth any kind of watch in any situation.
No, I'm really not going to argue for that.
Nothing about it is compelling enough to suggest like braving all of the terribleness to watch it. Like, it doesn't. There's no like Nick Cage freak out, or there's no scene like that that's like, oh, you got to watch it for this one crazy part. No, it's just bad and stupid and boring.
Charlie Sheen is pretty much a mannequin on wheels until
He's in every movie. He's like that.
Yeah.
He's a bad actor.
the French accent scene, I guess, is the most lively he gets.
Oh my God.
And
The
even
French
that,
accent scene
that
is-
scene made me uncomfortable.
Or
Like, that's what
something.
it was.
Okay, that's the reason to watch this movie. Okay, you find a copy of this movie. You show your kids the French accent scene when they've been bad.
And you say, look, if you keep it up, he'll come for you. He'll come for you in the night.
Yeah, you make up some weird folk tale about
Right.
mulleted
He'll-
Charlie Sheen coming
he'll
for you,
Come and
making
he'll
you a
take all
smoothie
your
and talking in a weird, stupid
Yep.
voice.
he'll take all your cocaine away. You don't
Oh, yeah.
want that.
Yeah, it's all gone.
Yeah.
It's all gone. If you see Sheen in your house, all of the drugs are already gone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
is that it?
I think we're done. Yeah. Fuck this.
Mercurial Oz. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your continued support.
Yeah.
Normally, this is where we plug our podcasts, but it feels a little weird because everybody's in quarantine and everybody's income is up in the air.
Yeah,
So-
you know the thing. yeah, definitely. The most thing I want to plug is check in with your favorite artists. Doesn't have to be us.
It does not have to be us. No.
Yeah,
not at
make
all.
sure they're not hurting. Make sure they're okay. See if they have a PayPal or a Venmo. See if, check in with people. Check in with your friends, too.
And that's
like, text people you haven't texted in a while. Make sure everybody's all right.
And that's after you have your own household secured. Please don't.
Yeah.
If you don't have
absolutely.
a salary right now, don't stretch yourself thin trying to help out people that you like or your friends.
Yes.
You have to guard your own self first, and it sucks, but you've got to do that.
Yeah, we get very, very sweet messages from people on Patreon who'll be like, oh, I don't know if I can afford this month, because I've gotten a few where it's specific to the coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
And they're always so apologetic, and it's like, we're not gonna hold a grudge.
No, not at all. No,
I'm never gonna be mad at someone for not being able to afford something. It just do what you can and
right.
Absolutely.
Just be
fucking safe.
We appreciate your support and we're so thankful for it, but please take care of yourself and your family and your household first.
Yeah. Jesus.
Do that.
And watch Beyond the Law.
Don't
watch
do
it.
That. Dave, it costs almost as much as a fucking subscription to our Patreon to watch Beyond the Law. Don't do that.
Okay. Don't
you get
watch
to watch
Beyond the
one
Law.
movie for 48 hours, and it's a bad movie. Don't do that.
All right.
Do not watch Beyond the Law. It's terrible.
All right. Fine.
You absolute monster. All right.